Rockin' Stone, everybody. My name is Pravus, and welcome to Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, the demo version for the Steam Next Fest. Yes, there is a Vampire Survivor style of game featuring our favorite space dwarves from Deep Rock Galactic. Now, I'll be the first to acknowledge this genre is getting a bit oversaturated and repetitive at this point, so I went into this game with a bit of skepticism. However, I do think that Deep Rock Galactic Survivor can separate itself away from the rest of the pack with a couple of special features. Namely that this game is less of a bullet heaven than the other games, which is to say, yeah, you're still surviving against hordes of enemies with as many guns as you can carry, but it's less of an ice train and more of a dungeon crawler or an arena shooter. You'll see what I mean in just a bit. And secondly, you're playing as a space dwarf. Did you really think you're not going to be mining as much gold or space minerals as possible? Of course you're going to do that. It's actually a very important part of the game. So let's go ahead and jump into the demo, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, we only have 3 different biomes that are going to be available in the game when it does get released. For right now in the demo, we have access to the crystalline caverns and nothing else. I'm going to play on hazard level 2, and it looks like there will be 4 different characters with different playstyles, but we only get access to the scout. And down we go. Okay, so we need to survive down here as long as possible, getting stronger so that we can face off against a final boss. One thing you'll note right off the bat, we are able to mine through the rocks. That is something unique about this game and extremely fitting. As you mine through the rocks and gather resources, you'll get experience, at which point you can level up and get some different upgrades. This, at least, is a very familiar feature to us from the rest of the games. But you do want to collect some of these resources. So, for example, we can see some gold over here, and again, I'll get some XP as I gather this stuff up. We need as much of this and a red crystal called Nitra as possible. I'm going to boost up the damage of my main gun. Here are some enemies coming to attack us. You can see as we kill them, they also are going to drop some XP, so the more damage you do, the more you're going to be able to level up. There's also some loot bugs over here. I'll go ahead and squish these things, gather myself a bit of extra resources. Let's boost up our reload speed. That's important. Get all this, and then keep hunting. Why do we care about getting gold and nitra? Well, gold and nitra are going to be used to upgrade our character and buy some extra equipment after every level. And there are 5 levels in this particular run. Wow, an epic artifact right off the bat. Okay, huge crit chance. Not as much damage, but I'll take that risk. That seems pretty good. Anyway, so yeah, we can get some upgrades. There are 5 levels in a single run. The 5th run is a final giant boss battle. So the more nitra and gold we have, the more upgrades we get, the stronger we are, the more likely we are going to be able to survive, right? So you want to get that. There are also some other special resources on the map. I'll talk about that in just a second. First off, we got to level 5, which means I do get a new weapon. I think I'm going to go ahead and let's take a shotgun. I can see that being useful for pushing away enemies that are getting too close to me. Anyway, those secondary resources I'm talking about, and I'll point them out if I can find one. Actually, there's one right up over here in the top left. Let me get this gold. There we go. These resources are used not to upgrade you during the same run, but rather to give you upgrades in between runs. This is where the roguelike aspect of the game comes into play, where you get a little bit stronger, so future runs are going to be just a little bit easier. Obviously, that's a familiar feature to us. It's just something you really want to be watching for. Good lord, they're starting to swarm me. Hold on. Back it on up, kill as many of these as we can. We found a magnet, which means we pull in all the XP, which means I level up again. Boost of that reload speed. Now, why does reload speed matter? It's actually really important. This is one more area where this game is different from things you're used to. In the bottom left, you may notice that as we're firing off our bullets, whether that be the shotgun or our rifle, they then have to reload. So that means you have a few seconds where you're actually not shooting at the enemy. And that doesn't sound like a big deal, but in those precious moments when you're trying to punch through and all of a sudden you realize you got nothing left in the clip and you have to wait a few seconds to reload, that can really mess you up. So it can be very, very helpful, of course, to boost up your reload speed, in this case 20%, heck yes, so you're able to fire more consistently. So I always pick that up, at least to a degree if I can. Lots of damage, lots of reload speed, happy me. Fire rate is also going to be an option and stuff. Sometimes you can get some secondary effects on your guns, and those can make a difference. Getting some more of those secondary resources, by the way. Let's pick that up. Also picking up some mushrooms. In the top right, you can see we have a secondary objective. We want to collect some of these things. I don't think you unlock those until you've already completed the first, couple rounds in this game, so you won't have it immediately, but if you can, it gives you a nice payout, as you're about to see right here. Lots of extra golden XP. Happy me. Now, we've survived down here long enough that an elite enemy has spawned, an elite Mactora. We have to kill this thing, and when we do, we will get to move on to the next level. However, be aware that when you have killed the boss, you are then going to immediately have 30 seconds to leave this level, or else you're going to get left behind. So always be thinking about an exit strategy and maybe try to deliberately not kill the boss so you have a little bit more time to run around down here collecting XP and resources. That said, you often don't have a choice in the matter. The boss is usually pretty fast and will be on your tail the entire time. In fact, there it goes. Let's grab this XP. We're about to get our 30 per second warning. There it is. All right, get to the drop pod or you're going to be left behind. And obviously, if you get left behind, that's game over, and that's no good. Now, this is where you can use the terrain to your advantage. In this case, the swarm was going around the rocks. I just punched a new hole through, and now we have a clear path to run in here, and we are safe. Which means we are now going to descend to level 2, and as I said, there are 5 levels in total. Now, in between, this is where you get to access that shop and spend some of the resources we picked up. I'm going to go ahead and boost up my shotgun reload speed by a ton. That could be useful. Some armor, mining speed, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think I'm just going to go ahead and reroll, see what else we can get. 15% more reload speed for everything, more crit damage, more fire rate. You know, I'll take both of those. That sounds good, and then let's continue. All right, going on into level 2. Looks like our bonus objective has changed. We are now going to have to mine some of this Morkite blue stuff, which I did see up over here. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab some of this while it's nice and easy. Otherwise, just rinse and repeat. The levels are very much the same. It's just, you know, it just gets harder. New enemies are going to appear. Some of them are going to fly. Some will explode. Some will spit things at you, and it's extremely rude. And obviously, you're going to get swarmed more and more as time goes on. In fact, you can see we're going to have 2 of these swarms spawn this particular level, and it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes on. So, yeah, try to level up as aggressively as you can so you can deal with all of this. I'm going to go ahead and pick up some high caliber weapons over here. That's like a sniper. Very good for doing a lot of huge damage to a target. Might not do me a lot of good with my whole crit chance thing. I don't know, but we'll give it a go. Those are the exploding things, by the way. Get close to them, and then they'll trigger, and sometimes you can use them to do an absolute ton of damage to your enemies. You can use that to your advantage, sometimes. Other times, you just get surrounded, and you go boom, and you cry. Squish some of these loot bugs over here just by walking close and mining them. These guys always have a little bit of something inside of them, which I think is hilarious. Second swarm's on the way. Oh boy, that's fine. Yeah, it really does get quite hectic when you get down to about level 4 or so. Ow, I thought I was going to dodge that, but it turns out there was a ravine here. That was a mistake on my part. All right. The problem with trying to mine here is you definitely start digging a little bit too greedily and too deep. Sitting around and trying to mine a lot of stuff is a great way for the bugs to have a chance to start catching up to you and swarming you. And that's obviously no good, like this little elite guy over here, which actually, with the amount of crit damage we're doing, this is working remarkably well. Holy crud. When we get lucky, we do an absolute ton of damage. I love it. I already have forgotten if I talked about this. There are ways of healing yourself a bit in this game. You just have to find some red sugar, which is a red crystal. Oh god, the boss is right on my butt! Ow! All right, well, the boss is down. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, yeah, you can get some health that way, and it's good to try to do that in between bosses while you can, because you do take that health down with you to the next level. You don't automatically heal up. You can, of course, use some of your gold to buy some extra health at the shop if you need to. That is perfectly reasonable, but I'd rather save my money for, you know, additional upgrades. All right, down into the pod. That is a successful level 2 for me. We're already at level 20. I think that's pretty decent right about now. 35% more damage, more reload speed, more damage. I'll take that. We can now overclock our gun. Change the type to plasma. Yeah, sure, that sounds like fun. I don't even know what that does, actually. More fire rate, sure, trigger the crits more quickly. More reload speed, and that's gonna have to be good enough. Okay, now we're looking for some apoca blooms. Gotta find ourselves some special flowers, huh? So, my gun apparently now does plasma damage. Oh, it bounces. I got myself a bouncy gun. That's gonna be interesting. Honestly, it seems kinda good. It seems to shred through a lot of enemies really quickly. This works for me, thank you. Looks like we have 3 swarms on this level. That should be fine. Found some of these pearls. I'll go ahead and grab some of these things. Again, looking for more upgrades as we get along. Try not to explode those big guys if I can. Sometimes when they really cluster up, like they can be used to clear out huge waves. Oh, good. Now we have these giant, like, spiked tentacle things coming out of the ground. Yeah, that's a thing that's going to be a problem for the rest of the run. Let's see. We can get extra crit chance for all the nitra we have. That stacks up really well with how I've currently got things set up. Kill that elite. That's good. I'm getting surrounded. That is bad. We'll go ahead and boost that reload speed again. I'm just going to go ahead and cut my path through here. Oh, gosh. This is not going to do well. All right, we're just going to have to brave it. Go, go, go. Ow, we took a lot of damage. Ow, ow, ow. And we get our final weapon. What do we want? An electrical taser, some drones that slow down enemies, or something that fires in 4 different directions. I guess I'll take the taser. I like the idea of zapping enemies that get a little bit close to me. And the elite spawned, another one of those elite Mactera. Yeah, it does seem like at some point you do kind of face off against the same 2 elites every single time. Again, this is where like I'm looking forward to a little bit more variety in this game as it goes. Still, I mean, for a Survivor style of game, this is somewhat true to form for something like Deep Rock Galactic, though, isn't it? I mean, you're running around in a dungeon, you got bugs trying to kill you, you're trying to gather up all the resources and then get the heck out. That's sort of the entire point. It's why Deep Rock Galactic is hilariously fun. This game would actually be great if you could play in multiplayer with scaling difficulty. I could see that being really cool. And there goes the boss. All right, another 15% reload speed for all those kinetic weapons. It seems like a great idea. 30 seconds to get the heck out of dodge, but the good news is there's a back door right over here. Haha, I really do like the ability to use the terrain to your advantage like this. It makes for an interesting change in the game. Let's try to explode a load of things and then run in here and collect an absolute ton of XP. Thank you. I know I'm greedy. I know it's worth it. Woo, especially when you get a magnet. All right, 9% extra critical chance does extremely good stuff for me. Let's go ahead and get 25% more damage over there. And down we go to level 4. What are we gonna get for our upgrades this time around? Good question. We're gonna go for, whoa. Extra beams, I'll take it. That sounds good. What else we got here? Some damage for all kinetic weapons. Apparently not my gun anymore, though, because this is now plasma. I didn't even think about that, but all right, we'll pick you up. Is luck good at this point? Yeah, probably still good. Let's go ahead and re-roll. Ah, there we go. 15% more damage for all weapons. Seems great. Fire rate, reload speed, fire rate. I don't know if I care about any of this. I'd rather just save the resources and move on. Remember, we get some extra crit chance for the more nitro we hold on to. So it kind of makes sense to stockpile this stuff, at least a little bit. Oh yeah, we're doing an absolute ton of damage. These small little guys die very, very quickly now, which I'm enjoying quite a lot. That said, even before a swarm hits, look how many enemies are starting to come after us now at level 4. Now we have a swarm coming. Yeah, the map's about to get completely filled with enemies. I'm serious, this is about when the game starts to get difficult. If you are ready, you're gonna be fine. If you have not been building up your DPS fast enough, you're in trouble. Ow! Dang, okay, I thought I was out of the range of those things, and I was not. Another supply drop, okay. Find more nitro whenever we mine more rocks. I mean, hey, that just could stack up some additional crit chance, so I'll take that risk. That sounds good. Lots of guys coming in. That magnet will help. Go boom, you guys, please. Another 15% reload speed I will take. There we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Chain reactions. 12% movement speed. That's actually going to be really helpful when we get to the final boss. I'm not even kidding. It is great being able to thread through the needle like that because we're super speedy. You know what they say about dwarves and all that. Natural sprinters. And that's the elite slasher on the way. Okay. Faster sniping reload sounds good. Go, 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 go. Okay, there's a lot of XP on the ground. I'm really sad that I can't pick this all up. All right, we should be able to burn down this boss pretty quick thanks to the crit chance. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Taking out all sorts of big guys over here. Perfect. Another 6% crit chance. Yeah, this is definitely a crit build, and I am loving it. All right, run to the drop pod. Run to the drop pod. Look how quickly we can skirt through all these enemies. Scream! I am the speedy dwarf. All right, we're moving on to the last level. Level 5. This is boss time. Didn't collect as many resources as I would have liked, to be honest, but all right. 15% more damage. I will take it. More HP. Actually, not a bad plan. I'll take it. Let's do one more reroll here. Fire rate. Let's just go ahead and boost up the reload speed, and I guess we could do the fire rate, but that's kind of all I think I want. Nothing else. We don't really benefit from much of this, I don't think. I guess technically the electrical weapon, but not by a lot. Let's just go ahead and move on. All right, so this giant cocoon is your enemy boss. Destroy 3 of these little tiny cocoons, which are going to spawn a big honking boss like this, and then the big one comes out. So take them down one at a time if you don't mind. Don't get greedy. That would be stupid. I mean, I know you're a dwarf, and greed is apparently in our nature, but really, don't do it. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure there's really much of a point to be trying to get all of the gold and nitra and stuff, aside from the fact that we get an extra crit bonus, I guess. But I think maybe we get like a little... Wow, these guys are all stuck over here. That's hilarious. I think you get maybe like a little bit of a resource boost by like the end of the run or something. I don't know. Out of habit, I feel like I should try to gather up as much of this as I can. Wow, 70 extra HP? Frick me, I'll take that. That's great. All right, let's see if we can find another one of those cocoon things. Should be one somewhere down over... There's one. All right, let's take this thing out. We can spawn the next boss, and now we got to go and deal with this dang thing. It actually went down really fast. Beautiful. All right. Let's just go for some extra damage, I suppose, that away. Definitely should gather up some of these secondary resources, though. These are definitely useful no matter what. I'm happy to have those on my side. All right. We just got to get to that last cocoon, and we are good to go. Come here, you dumb thing. Now, once you kill this, you got to deal with this and the big boss. So be aware that that's going to be a small issue, but there we go. All right, the Dreadnought. Yeah, that's the boss coming after us. Let's try to deal with this little guy first so we don't have to deal with both at the same time. I don't like it when they tag up on me. Fortunately, with the crit chance, oh my gosh, we do so much damage. That is absolutely phenomenal. Boost up that damage a little bit more. More elites going down. There's the big... Ah, okay, there's the big guy. Yeah, so you may have just noticed he does like a charging attack. You should be watching for that at all times. Like this. Boom, like so. This is where movement speed is helpful, so you can react a little bit faster when he does things like this. Also, yeah, he's going to destroy the walls, so don't think that the terrain is going to save you. There's really no reason not to try to kill this guy as fast as you can, so I'm going to stay close to him so my guns prefer to try and take him down away from the rest of the swarms, because if I get overwhelmed and I have no retreat, we're doomed. So the faster we deal with him, the better, and bye-bye. All right, that worked out phenomenally well. Oh, I am going to remember this crit chance build. This thing is ridiculous. All right, as always, we got to get to the drop pod. First, though, I see resources. I want this thing. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me, give it to me. Thank you. All right. And now we get to run all the way back down here, and we win. Okay, that is a successful run of Deep Rock Galactic Survivor, and we get brought back up to space. Love it. Okay, now we get to see how we performed in this particular run. You can see that we are leveling up the character and the rank a little bit. We're gaining some credits. I don't actually know what determines how much credits we get. Maybe it's how much leftover gold and nitro you have. Maybe it's just how much you picked up overall. I don't know. We can see how much damage the different weapons did. The taser, of course, was a little underwhelming in this case. We got some milestones completed. And as you complete these milestones, you'll unlock new content. So there's more stuff to see every time you play, which is great. All right, let's just go ahead and continue. You can see here we got an ammo rig as our next one. We got hot plasma. All right. And when you're done with all of that, then go down to the upgrades. Upgrades, you can see here, we have a bunch of different ways we can improve our character using all these secondary resources I was talking about. And there are 6 of them, plus your credits. So, for example, boost on my XP gain. Sure, leveling up faster seems like a good idea. Increase your movement speed, your mining speed, your max HP, armor, etc. Tell you what, we're going to boost up our movement speed and our mining speed, and I guess we'll do our crit chance and health regen. There we go. All right, new ways of boosting up our character, making the next run just a little bit easier. Anyway, that's a look at Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. I'm pleasantly surprised that it didn't feel like an absolute clone of things like Vampire Survivors. And there's definitely a certain strategic element. You need to be very strategic about what kind of weapons you try to pick up, what kind of upgrades you're going to go for, how are they going to synergize well together, etc., etc. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And it does feel like you level up and gain milestones at a pretty decent rate, so you keep unlocking new content and encouraging you to jump back into the next run. I think this actually does have some surprising amount of potential. I really wasn't sure what to expect, but I'm not unhappy about it. I think the other characters could also be quite fun to play. So this is available during the Steam Next Fest. If you guys want to try it out for yourself, I'll include a link in the description down below so you can play around with the demo. Plenty of fun to be had. But otherwise, I will ask you to hit that like button if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.